Here's that sequence that we created in the previous lesson, and we can see some more information about that, such as the frame rate, we've got the resolution, some more audio info, and we can also create a new sequence from this new item button here on the bottom, then go to sequence, and then from here, we can again choose those settings. But what's the deal with all of these codecs right here? Because that is what these presets represent, right? For instance, opening up the DNxHR, scroll all the way to the bottom here. Under the Ultra HD 30 frames per second presets, we can find 5 different kinds of presets. Now, they're all exactly the same except for the codec behind them. Well, let me show you. If you head over to the settings, you can actually preview or change the settings from that preset. You can also go here on top and then select custom if you would like to create something yourself. You can always save that as a preset if you like so, but that's really for very specific reasons. So apart from the video settings and the audio settings, we've got video previews here on the bottom. And here you can see that we do talk about a codec, and this is going to be the codec that's pre-rendered video files are going to be saved as. And to show you what exactly is going on in here, let me just cancel this pop-up box. You can see right in here that we've got a clip which has a red line on top, and that indicates that it has some kind of heavy effect applied to it. What I've done is just applied a simple lightning effect, which makes totally no sense at all, but it does allow me to render this clip because I've got problems playing this back. So we all know how to do that. We just press the return key, and that will start rendering. And what Premiere Pro is doing right now is actually just saving this individual clip on your computer with the codec that we've set within the sequence settings. So if we go back to the sequence settings here, create a new one, then go to settings here in the bottom, we understand that the codec is something important to understand. Now going back to the presets, the DNxHD and the DNxHR are going to be the presets that you're going to work with the most. Don't worry too much about the codec, just pick out the resolution and frame rate that you want to work in. And these video settings are going to be the settings that your final export has to be. I'm going to cancel this window right here, and let's have a look at the clips that I have in my timeline. I'm going to select clip number 9 right here, head over to the motion property, and you'll notice that the scaling, even though it's set to 100, is actually bigger than the Ultra HD resolution from the sequence. That is because these clips were shot at 5K resolution, and that gives me the benefit that I can actually scale down or maybe reposition that clip. Now, when I'm going to decide to group a few clips together in a nested sequence, which I can do by selecting them, right-clicking, and then say Nest. Give that a name, for example, Grouped Clips, and press OK. A new sequence has been created with the same settings as my original sequence. So that means now, since I'm working on this nested sequence, I no longer have that larger resolution, even though the clips inside are. So what I'm going to have to do right now is right-click on my grouped clip sequence, go to Sequence Settings, and from there, change the resolution. I cannot do that because I'm working in a preset, so I'm going to go up here, select Custom, and from there, set the actual resolution of what my clips are, which is in this case 4,800 to 2,700. Then press OK. It's going to give you a warning that the preview files will be deleted. I don't care, press OK. And now this nested sequence is larger, as you can see in here, than my main sequence. So that means I can now select this nested sequence and move my clips around, scale it down, and enjoy that 5K resolution. Well, if I go to my B-roll folder and have a look at my clips, I can see here in the columns what's the resolution of those clips are. You can also always right-click on them and then go to Properties, from which you can also read that same value.